Hey everyone, this video will show you how to use the Global Performance tab in FranchiseBlast. Now we like to call this the most powerful underutilized field audit report available in the system. When you go to the Field Audits app in FranchiseBlast and select the Global Performance dashboard, you can choose a field audit questionnaire from the drop-down menu. You can choose any one of these reports. What this does is it rolls up all of the results for this field audit for the locations that you have access to in FranchiseBlast. So if you're a single unit franchisee and you only have access to one location, basically what it does is it takes this quality service cleanliness audit and it gives you all of the results in a single report for that location that you own. If you're a franchise business consultant, then it rolls up all of the results for this report within your territory. So when I select the report, it automatically gives me all of the results since the last revision date. So it lets me know that there's been a total of 16 audits conducted using this report, and the last revision date was November 2019. So I can actually use these data filters if I want to include previous revisions before November 2019. So basically I could include the past revisions, and if you've been using FranchiseBlast for 3 or 4 years, it basically rolls up all of the results for this report within the Global Performance dashboard. From there, you can use the date range selector to choose the exact date range or the time frame that you want to look at. You can choose a specific store group, so you can look at that by region or by FBC. You can look at it by auditor as well, and you can choose a single location. So if you're a franchise business consultant and you want to see all of the results for the quality service cleanliness for the Ottawa location, then you can choose that for this drop-down menu, and it'll show you the areas that this location has struggled with in the past. So you can go ahead and apply those filters, and when you scroll down, you see the response rates for each of the questions on this report. So we see here that when we go into a location, 100% of the time, the store staff are smiling and welcoming guests when they enter the establishment. But only roughly half of the time are they suggesting a promo item. So we can look further into this question and we can see exactly which location we visited, when the audit was performed, and the response that was given, and the score that they ultimately got for the question during that visit. You can filter this list to just see the locations that aren't suggesting a promo item during the audit. So this is a list that the training department, or as a FBC, if this is an important initiative going into the quarter or into the new year, then this is a list that you can use to know which locations need to improve in that area. You can also export this list into Excel if you want to. And there's another option here for a picture feed that would show you all of the pictures that were related to this question. So if there was any pictures for this question, they would basically be showing here, so you would know there would be a picture feed to look at. As well, if there was any comments that were left for this question, they would show in this view as well. This is all really useful information, but if you have 100 or 150 or more audit questions on your field audit, it's a little time consuming to scroll through each and every question on the report to find where your weaknesses are, so then you can drill into them. And that's exactly why we developed the heat map here at the top of the page. So when I hover my mouse over the top bar of the heat map, it shows me the overall result for this particular audit. So I see that there's an 89.42% average on the report, and it's 100% of the audits that we've performed have passed, and there's 16 audit results that are making up this report. If I go below that top bar, it shows me the individual sections on the report. So we have cleanliness, we have quality, and we have unparalleled hospitality here. There's subsections on the report, right down to the individual questions that the FBCs are filling out in the field. So there's a legend here on the right-hand side, and it lets us know that if any of these questions are scoring a 0% compliance, then they would be highlighted in red. 50% they would be highlighted in yellow, and if they were 100% compliant, they'd be highlighted in green. So we can already use that legend to identify some of the weaknesses or the areas of opportunity based off the information in this report. I can also use the overview to highlight in red the weakest questions on this report system-wide. So if you're VP of operations and you have access to the entire franchise, well, then you know that system-wide, this is one of the biggest weaknesses across the franchise. If you're an FBC looking at this report, then this is probably going to be the biggest weakness in your territory, something that you can support your franchisees in improving going into the next quarter or into the next year. And if you're a franchisee looking at this report, you know that at your location, this is one of the biggest opportunities for you to probably improve your sales and ultimately your field audit scores. We have another feature here that allows us to filter by range. So right now, the report is showing us all of the questions on the field audit that scored below a 0 and 100% compliance. But we can use this filter to basically find a manageable number of items, maybe 5 or 10 questions on the report that we know are the system-wide weaknesses. So drag this slider down until you're left with 5 to 10 items. And basically what that is doing now is it's showing you all of the questions on the report that scored below a 70% compliance. And if I look at the individual questions here, I can see exactly what areas the franchisees need more support. The nice thing with the filter by range is that when I scroll down, it removes all of the other questions from the report except for those ones that score below a 70% compliance. And I can drill into them further to see which locations need more support. Another nice feature about this report is that after you're finished building and playing around with it, you can export it into Excel or CSV as well.